This is Marquivus Furious Nias, and you're listening to Deeper Than Music Radio.
Deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music. Deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music. Deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music. Deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music. Deeper than music.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Mark Furious Nias, Deeper Than Music Radio. Behind every great song, there's an even greater story. I like to say what's up to people listening to us on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all the great podcasting platforms that this podcast is streamed through. I actually got a compliment today. A listener was listening or checking out the podcast, and they liked the fact that we have many different genres of music on this show. Music is a universal language, and music breaks barriers, and anybody can relate to music. Today we have a very special guest from a band whose music reminds me of Margaritaville, and just really good feel good music. And I mean, and in days like this and times like this music is much needed. All the way from Austin, we have Uncle Brent here from Austin, here on Deeper Than Music Radio. Uncle Brent, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Furious. How you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Cannot complain. Just thank you for being here on the show, and just being on the show to share your great, wonderful story and what you do for as far as music. I believe your type of music is, I like to describe it as, you've had a hard day and you just want to kick back, you want to relax, and just want to have fun. So my first question is, who is Uncle Brent in your band, and what are you bringing to music?
Well, Uncle Brent and the NoStone is a Americana rock band out of the Austin area. We kind of gravitate around the Austin area, and we play covers, we play originals. When you come to one of our shows, you can just come in, sit down, leave your troubles at the door, have a drink with us, have a laugh with us, listen to some good music. Then when we're done, we send you back out in the world refreshed and ready to go.
Man, that's pretty awesome. And I wanted to know, because it's like Americana music, and like I said, feel-good music. Like, who are your influences? Like, what musicians influence Uncle Brent musically?
Well, there's actually a lot, because we have 5 guys in the band. So I'll kind of primarily talk about me. When I started Uncle Brent the NoStone, we were just called the NoStone, and a lot of that original music came from primarily two groups or songwriters, and one was the Refreshments, and the second was Doug Hopkins. Doug Hopkins was the primary songwriter for the Gin Blossoms, and both bands are out of the Tempe, Arizona area. And so basically, I had stopped writing music for a little while because I was, having kids and kind of losing my mind, just trying to take care of them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was driving to work one day, and it was really early, and I was going to a job that, was not fulfilling me. It wasn't, if you're an artist, you need to create, I think. And
yeah. I
wasn't able to create in this job, and I was listening to the radio as I was going to work, and I heard the song Banditos by the Refreshments, and it has a line that said, sorry, everybody knows that the world is full of stupid people, so meet me at the mission at midnight and we'll divvy up. So I heard that song, and I was like, those are the kind of songs I was wanting to write, because it had a real upbeat vibe and sound, but it was kind of satire. It had some satire with it, but it was also kind of funny. So that's kind of what started me on this track of the music we're doing now. It's a lot of satire.
Okay.
So we want people to laugh.
So during that time frame, I guess like with you meeting the band and you all coming together, like how did that? What was the genesis of Uncle Brent and the NoStone band?
Probably the genesis was that Refreshments song that I heard on the way to work that one day.
Okay.
So then at that point, I got with a percussionist named Emilio Ramos, and we just started doing 2-person gigs around the Austin area. And then we kept building. Now we have a guitarist named Ray Keynes. We have a bass player named John Billings, and we have a guy named CJ on the drums. And so we kind of have a bigger sound, and we kind of cut our teeth at this place called the Ghost Town out in Maynard, Texas. It's kind of an old cowboy ghost town, and so that's where we kind of really got our start. So that's kind of where it all started coming together.
Okay. And then, like, what's your role in the band as far as like a lead singer, songwriter?
I'm a singer songwriter, and I'm the primary vocalist and acoustic guitarist in the band.
Oh wow!
So I write most of the songs. I do most of the arrangements. And the other guys just help me finish songs I can't finish.
Okay. So that's the creative process. I have your song queued up, Monkey Road. Can you give us the story behind the song before we showcase it here on Deeper Than Music Radio?
Yeah. Well, Monkey Road goes back to when I had the epiphany to start writing music again. And I had gotten divorced, and at that point I had decided that I was going to play every opportunity I had, and I was going to go everywhere I could and play. I'd play anytime I could. So I started going out after I moved out of the house. The first night after I moved out of the house, I went to the Ghost Town, and they had this open mic, and I started playing there with those guys there, and they just kind of took me in. And so the song is about them. And the Ghost Town is actually really close to a road called Monkey Road. And all those guys were from the Ghost Town and the Monkey Road. And I'm talking about those people that, you know, nourished me as far as a musician, helped me grow, encouraged me, helped me with my music. So it's really a tribute to them and everything they did for me.
Okay, so you heard it here, live and direct on Deeper Than Music Radio with special guest Uncle Brent of Uncle Brent and the NoStone band.
What up? This is Matt James, all the way from Canada. How's she going, eh? And you're listening to Furious on Deeper Than Music.
Nobody's really playing
Uncle Brent and the NoStone band. Man, like I said, upbeat. Hey, forget about your worries. We come to jam and just kick back. You mentioned something earlier. Like situations happen, and you decided to take a break and get back into music. That leads me to my next question. Like, so far in your music career, what has been the biggest challenge?
I would say the biggest challenge is the amount of work involved to pursue music. It's just, so basically, yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter. I play guitar. I write the music. There's all these different things, but, I'm also in charge of booking, social media, advertising. I need to practice. The band needs to practice. We need to work out arrangements. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades, master of nothing, because I just feel spread thin. And that's probably the hardest thing to deal with out of everything. The next hardest thing is when you're trying to get a new musician up to speed in your band, and you're trying to manage all that other stuff, but get them up to speed. So I'd have to say those two things.
Okay, yeah, no, I've always watched Behind the Music, and I say the most interesting episodes are the bands, because there's always, you see bands come in together, and then there's always a dynamic shift, or there's always somebody that, like you said, come into the band. There's got to be chemistry. I liken to was it Genesis? How they kind of morphed into, prior to Phil Collins with Peter Gabriel, and then after he left, and Phil Collins came into his own. And then I like how you say it's kind of twofold, right? Now we live in a modern society with all this technology with us, but you have to maintain that. And then it's always, you're a musician, you have the creative side, and a lot of musicians don't know the music and the business aspect. So I applaud you for maintaining both. On the flip side, what has been your most rewarding moment in your career so far, in your music career?
I would have to say probably the most rewarding would be whenever you've written a song and you've played it, you've edited it, you've done all this work, and then you finally go to releasing it. So we released our Monkey Road EP in October, and had a nice big release party, and it was really cool. And it's just great to release such a good product, because we had AJ Vallejo produce it, and he's the primary vocalist for the band Vallejo, but he also is a co-lead singer in Love and Chaos, which is a band with Kendall Beard, and he was really instrumental in helping me get it to where I needed to get the songs to be, and that was probably the most rewarding. I had, I think the EP had 5 songs on it, and 2 of those songs were co-writes, and that was interesting because I had never done any co-writes outside of people in my band, and these 2 co-writes people in other areas. So the most rewarding was probably just taking a song and then releasing it. And the biggest thing so far is Monkey Road that we released in October.
Oh, wow. And congratulations. That's, collaborating with, people with experience, and that's very phenomenal. What someone? Oh yeah, and you guys are based in Austin, which is the epicenter. So how's the band? I'm pretty sure you guys have thrived and done gigs. So how are you guys able to mesh with that, being in the epicenter of the music world?
It's pretty awesome in Austin. You have a lot of competition, but you also have a lot of places to play. And the competition makes everyone better.
Yeah.
So, and you have people on all sorts of different levels. And so there are a lot of people you can hook up with that if you were in another another city or state you may not be able to get in touch with. So it's big enough that you can network out and meet a bunch of different people, not only in your own genre, but other genres. So you have possible co-writes in multiple genres. Because when I write, I don't write just one style of music. Now, Uncle Brent the NoStone is Americana rock, but I write other types. And so this is my opportunity to reach out to other people that maybe do R&B, maybe do rap, maybe do like old school country, bluegrass, metal, metalcore. And I can reach out to those different people and collaborate with them. So it's a tough place to cut your teeth, but it's a good place because of just the amount of resources and people here that love music, you know. And if you're a young kid and you've decided, hey, I want to do music, but I'm not ready for Nashville or LA, then this is a good place to come and cut your teeth, you know?
Yeah. So what I wanted to do was cue up another song I have here, Bullets. Can you give us the story behind this title, this song?
Bullets is a pretty interesting song. This was one of the co-writes with a guy named Ron Hirsch Jr., and he's a Yankee, and he contacted me and said, hey, I like what you're doing. I want to co-write with you. So he kicked over this melody, and we were going back and forth on lyrics, trying to figure out what the song was about. And then we came across this idea that your actions and your behavior can be just as damaging as bullets. So because of that, we went on ahead and wrote this song called Bullets. And the song talks about two people that have a history of destroying people in the relationships they're in because of how they behave. A lot of people have thought this is about gun violence, and there's a portion of it that it could be, but primarily it's about things you do that you can't take back.
Wow, so that's deep. So ladies and gentlemen, you've got the story behind the music, and like we say, it's deeper than music, with Uncle Brent of Uncle Brent the NoStone, Bullets, here on Deeper Than Music Radio.
Thomas never thought he should observe, only speaking words that hit a nerve. Anger makes him weak, which leads to hate. Google all the ways that seal his fate. Bullets fill the air. It's a senseless crime. Anguish and pain, it can't be left behind. Your life's so tragic, we most overdue. Bullets fill the air and there's no excuse. Susan likes to twist the truth and lie. She does what she wants just to get by. Those angry thoughts, someday she'll learn. Karma comes around and the tide will turn. Bullets fill the air. It's a senseless crime. Anguish and pain, it can't be left behind. rescue.
This is Greg of Greg in Good Company, and you're listening to Deeper Than Music Radio.
Bullets, Uncle Brent and the NoStone Band. Man, I like the symbolism of that song, and then also it reminds me of kind of like a Dust in the Wind.
Oh yeah,
It has like that Dust in the Wind vibe to it.
that's kind of a funny song because it kind of has a REM Metallica feel to it too, and except the band from the '80s, and it somehow their influences creeped in, so it was just kind of funny how that one came about. But yeah, that intro part sounds a lot like what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I also wanted to ask, like, at what age did you know that you wanted to do music, be a performer and songwriter?
You know, I started writing songs as a little kid in my second year of first grade. And so I was just walking to school, and I didn't know I was writing songs. But since then, I kind of just knew that was what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And at some point, you know, life just takes you away and you get sidetracked from what you need to be doing or what you were created to do.
Yeah.
And do other things. So, you know, I would say when I was 6, and I always knew that I needed to be writing, just I didn't always do it. So, you know, coming back to it, you know, in 2006, 2007 was probably a very smart thing for me to do.
Yeah, like you said, you know, if you're not living your true calling, you're really not living. You also mentioned, so you said that you do. So when you do collaborations, do you do it under just Uncle Brent, and then Uncle Brent and the NoStone Band is just the Americana side? So you've mentioned that you also mesh with other genres and collaborate.
Yeah, I primarily do that as Uncle Brent. If I play it live, but right now I'm concentrating on, you know, Uncle Brent the NoStone, and then I'm concentrating on my songwriting. And my songwriting, because I'm building my catalog, I don't want to be limited to anything. So I'm open to anyone that contacts me, provided that there's time to do it. So, yeah. You know, I wrote with Ron up in the New York area. I've written with Son in Australia. I'm trying to write with this other guy in the UK. I'm just trying to get in touch with different people to write different things. Right now, I'm working on the songs for the next album, and I have a bluegrass song on that one, which will be really weird. I don't know if that one's actually going to make it to the album because it's so far from Uncle Brent and the NoStone. My producer says, don't worry about that. Just release it all together. But I'm like, well, I'm trying to create, you know, bluegrass is a little different than Uncle Brent and the NoStone. We're offering respite to people from the world. Bluegrass is a little more intense. And he's like, so we'll have to see what happens. But I really like collaborating because you kind of get the best out of yourself and the other person. And if the other person's a really good musician, you can concentrate on the lyrics and arrangement. If the other person is a really good lyricist, you can concentrate on the music. If they're really good arrangements, you know, you have some diversity and you can really play to each other's strengths, you know, and it just depends on who you're playing with or trying to write with that brings out your strength. You know that because I've heard stuff online, and I know you do some collaboration.
Oh, yeah, no, thank you. And I think it's always good to, you know, like you said, to expand your horizon and then also, you know, branch out of what you're doing. It's always a good thing. And I applaud you for that because one thing that you don't want to do, especially in music, is like kind of pigeonhole yourself, and you're always wanting to expand. I believe that music is very fluid, And like example, look at the what's that Old Town Road collaboration, and as big as that has gotten, it's very good. And music is fluid, you know. That's one thing I like about like certain artists like Sting or just worldly artists. They collaborate, and you never know what they expect or what they'll mesh with. I wanted to get into another song, Her Pain. Can you give us the story behind Her Pain?
Yeah, Her Pain was never supposed to ever be recorded. So we'd come to the end of recording, or so I thought. And I was like, all right, we're done. We got the EP done. And the producer goes, no, you need 5 to 6 songs on this. And I was like, are you serious? And he goes, yeah, you need to go send me some more of your songs. And I was like, well, I don't know which one. I don't think any of them are ready right now. And he's like, okay, just go home, think about it, and send me your top 5 songs. So I went home and I pulled out some that we play live that people like, but they're still kind of not ready. So there would still need to be work.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw Her Pain in there and see what he does. And I was never expecting to record that one, wasn't going to, and he selected that one. And so basically that song is about me and my wife used to work together.
Okay.
And so we'd have long drives to work, you know, because traffic in Austin is like just a nightmare. And we both worked downtown at that point in time. And so we were just kind of talking, and, you know, life can be really hard and get you down. And that song's about a woman she loves her family. She loves that part of her life, but she just hates her job. Her job is the thing that is the bane of her existence. And the thing about that song is it's written from a female's point of view because of my talks with my wife. And then I know there are other women out there that are struggling with that. You know, they have to work and they don't want to because they want to invest that time in their kids and raising their kids and teaching their kids. And so that's just kind of addressing that. So that's kind of an interesting song because it was written by a dude, but it was influenced by women.
So it's kind of like you on the outside looking in and writing based on from your point of view.
No, man, I'm putting on the dress and pretending like I'm a woman.
Oh, okay. That's even better. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. The story behind the music of Her Pain. Special guest Uncle Brent of Uncle Brent and the NoStone Band.
She wanted so much more, but it's gone away. She waits in traffic lights, then changes lanes. Well, she's driving in the fast lane, ain't going nowhere. Well, she loves her kids and family, but this is hell. So she keeps her head up as she drives to a job she hates. Whoa, whoa, whoa. she loves her kids and family. But this is hell. So she keeps her head up as she drives to a job she hates. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can you feel her pain? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can you feel her pain?
What up, what up? This is Matt James, all the way from Canada. How's she going, eh? And you're listening to Furious on Deeper Than Music.
Her pain, ladies and gentlemen. And that's also a sign of a good, great songwriter, is be able to take somebody's story and place yourself in it. And it's kind of like, I know Sting's done that. He had a song similar to that. I can't remember the name. It wasn't Roxanne, but it was just about, I don't know if it's a good context, but about a lady of the night.
Oh,
So-
yeah, it's Roxanne.
Yeah, and then he had another one. The song was like "Don't Judge Me" because it could be you. That was off of his Brighter Day album. So he did like a part 2, I guess. But that's the sign of a great musician, to just sit there and take somebody's story and make it their own. And for you to be able to see through your wife and then write it in first person what she has to deal with or her pain.
Yeah, I
so-
appreciate that.
Oh, no, not a problem, man. I appreciate good music and good songwriting. I wanted to ask, so what is Uncle Brent, and then also Uncle Brent and the NoStone, what is your catalog? Like, you mentioned the Monkey Road album. Are there any other projects, past and present and future?
We do have a few projects. Or we released our first EP, and we just called it No Stone Music. And it was called Bobbing for Crapples, and that was released in 2015. And then in 2018, we released the Another Round, and it's basically 2 songs, and it's the one everyone seems to like is called Salt and Lime. We kind of write a lot of songs about tequila, and then this last fall we released Monkey Road. Currently I'm going back into the studio probably in the next month or so to I think I'm going to try to do a praise and worship song.
Okay.
And that sounds kind of crazy to me, but I figure why not. And then I'm going to try to do that bluegrass song too. And, I'm going to try to make those available on our website, and our website is nostonemusicband.com. And if you're lucky, you might be able to go to Google and just enter Uncle Brent or enter Uncle Brent in the NoStone, and it should pull us right up if you're trying to find us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all you have to do is put in at Uncle Brent Music and you'll find us. So we have a lot of stuff going on. Right now I have 3 new players in the band that I'm trying to get up to speed, so that's kind of dominating all my creative energy and time, because as we bring them in, I kind of start seeing their skills, and so then we can change up our arrangements, because I don't like to play the same thing that's on the album.
Yeah.
I like to have the album be the way the album is, and then do little different things in a live show for the people. The people that haven't listened to the album aren't going to know that it's different. But the people, that have purchased our album, are going to get a different kind of flavor, and hopefully it'll make them think or make them laugh or just help them enjoy the show a little bit more. So those are kind of the things we're working on. I've got a few acoustic shows coming up. I've got one actually this Friday, and I have a few duo shows with our guitarist Ray. And so I'm just trying to keep the creative juices going as much as possible and stay as busy as possible. Trying to book at least 4 gigs a month. Just stay busy.
Man, so no, you're out there doing it, man, and you're out there spreading your wings, and no, that's good, man. Staying active and keeping sharp, and like you say, you venturing out to other genres of music. That's the only way to do it and grow and just nurture and perfect what you're doing. And as with all my great interviews, it seems like time flies. So you've already did the shameless promotion, so definitely appreciate that. That's usually the last question, but I wanted to ask you before we close out the show with Tequila Nights, what does music mean to Uncle Brent?
Music to me, I honestly think if I didn't have my kids' music, there would really, for me, be no point. So it's important that I have those three things. And music is kind of my link to being creative. And when I have pain, I can work it out through music. It's just a conduit for me to relate, to be able to process and understand things and just flex my creative muscles.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And so like I mentioned, we're going to finish this off with Tequila Nights. Can you give us the story of Tequila Nights and I can only imagine Tequila Nights, right?
Yeah.
Of the story behind the song?
Yeah, Tequila Nights. Everyone that's had a tequila night knows what it's about without me even talking about it. But the cool thing about Tequila Nights is that's the other co-write on the album, and that was written with an Australian named Sonia Douth. And the funniest part about that is she sent me the lyrics, and I was like, I want to write this song. And we were going back and forth, and I kept trying to put music to it, but I was really unable to do that. And I said, I'm trying to sing it, trying to get this down, and I can't do it. Can you send me a recording of you singing the song? And she goes, I don't sing, but she had the Australian accent when she said it. And I go, well, why don't you send me a recording of it, of you talking it? And she sent me the recording of her talking it, and then it all lined up. I was able to work out the song because they speak a little differently than we do. They have different inflections on how they talk, and that was missing when I was trying to create the music and trying to hit the meter and the rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
So hearing her do that, and once she did that, everything fell into place. Everything from the sun being too bright, the birds being too loud, and waking up in the sand with a garden gnome. Those are all the kinds of things that happen when you have a tequila night.
Yeah. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the story behind the music, Tequila Nights, and you also heard the story behind Uncle Brent of Uncle Brent and the NoStone Band. And is there any shout outs you want to give before we close out the show with Tequila Nights?
I would love to. I'm going to give a shout out to my co-writers, my band, and also my kids and my wife. And I'd just like to thank them for supporting me and helping me make music. I love y'all guys.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another great interview. And if you're ever in the Austin area, definitely check them out. Uncle Brent and the NoStone Band. Look them up. And like I said, you previewed their great, awesome music. And we're going to close out with Uncle Brent and the NoStone Band, Tequila Nights, here on Deeper Than Music Radio.
Woohoo!